Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Age of Fire, the rise of the Phoenix, and a twist to the Age of Ice. We are going to carry on right where we left off last time with half of our tribe starving because we really need to get some food, and the rise of a new fiery Phoenix class of nicheling who will be the leaders of this tribe while we prepare ourselves for wings to launch into the sky, rise like a phoenix, become Phoenix Guardians, and then carry on with the Age of Ice challenge and be able to rescue the nichelings who are currently wandering this Ice Age world and be able to contact the nichelings who are frozen in the icebergs and carry with them knowledge about how to survive the coming of yet another Ice Age upon the world. But we're going to pick up right where we left off last time because we've spent the last few episodes really heavy on lore. We now have our wonderful new gemstones to denote who is prehistoric gened, who is of the fire body or phoenix hierarchy, and who is servant class. And so far we don't have any servant class nichelings, but we definitely have Kira here. Man, as a sickly nicheling, normally Phoenix would insist that we put her gently out of her misery by feeding her some toxic berries so that she doesn't feel any pain and so that she could slip out of this world a little faster. But she is rescued from the fact that she has hammertail. So she, if she lives long enough, will actually become a mate for Makri because they smell good to each other. So she just barely escaped being fed poison berries thanks to that hammertail. So hang in there, little Kira. I am so glad that you're going to be able to make it. Phoenix just really believes that strong leadership is needed to make this tribe survive. And that leadership really needs to begin with getting more of these bunnels. And this poor little bunnel had no idea. It has lived for generations. Possibly. At least its group has lived for generations atop the back of Titanic, the whale that we are currently traveling through this icy world on, and it has no idea what to do when faced with a clawed, saber-tooth fanged, ram-horned nicheling. I'm afraid that it will be the pressures of evolution now pushing down upon the bunnel populations because this bunnel is not going to live to pass on its genes. So sorry, little guy, but honestly, you shouldn't be eating our berries. We kind of need those. Makar! Oh, Makar, you're gonna pass away of old age! Oh no! Alright, well, he was able to kind of save our fruit field, thankfully. And I think that he's just going to quietly look out across the ocean. And he is going to think about how dramatically things have changed from being a tribe dedicated to searching out the lost wanderers of the ice and to being a tribe who was searching out the knowledge of the prehistoric genes to this new fiery leadership. And I don't know what Makar thinks about all this, but he has to admit this is the ragged remains of what the rest of their efforts produced. And already we're able to survive a little bit longer here on this island under Phoenix's guidance than we have anywhere else. So I think Makar can't help but feel that perhaps in one way the age of the wanderers of the ice is over, but a leader has risen amongst them, and maybe that will guide the path, blaze forth the path to a new future. Sorry, Makar. I feel like he's kind of a little bit of one of the old class. He spent most of his life on the run, fleeing from the ice. On one level, perhaps he wonders if this should just be the end, always staying on the back of this Titanic whale. But I could see how he also remembers what it's like to be terrified and running from the ice, and he feels that they do have a duty to seek out the wanderers and to give them safety. And they can't stay on the back of this whale forever. Only a few wanderers who float by on ice floes come by, but perhaps it is time for something new to happen to this tribe. And perhaps Phoenix's view of Phoenix's rising from the ashes is what's supposed to happen. So rest in peace, Makar. It is a new era. All of the ones that are left behind are pretty much children. Alright, Rota? I can't quite get your color right, buddy, but we'll get there eventually. All of the ones left behind are actually children born on this island, I think? Rico? Makri? Yeah! Other than Phoenix! What the heck? What the heck? That happened really quickly. So I guess she can just, with like an iron fist, or flaming fist, I suppose, really be able to just claim control of the culture of this land. That is going to be very interesting to see. All right, well, let's go ahead and eat some of these fruits. Kikar, you cannot actually get any of the fruit, but you can chase this bunnel. That would be very helpful, my dear Kikar. So we'll have him wait and see if that bundle comes back. Rota is being sent to help with the collecting because he does have a high collecting skill. Rota, you can get it! Yes! We're finally getting to the point where we can get quite a bit of food. This is fantastic. Makri is gathering this up and considering what he has been told that little baby Kira might potentially be his mate in the future. It is an honor to have a mate who has one of the prehistoric genes. So he could accept that, but the age difference definitely gives him pause, I think. Rico, meanwhile... Rico smells... They both smell terrible to each other. Are you guys direct siblings? Rico and Makri. Yes, no, you're half siblings. I believe. Yeah, Miri's children. They're half siblings, but they smell terrible to one another. So it's a moot point on them mating. But Rico is going to be called by Phoenix to perhaps use the beautiful sound of her purring voice to try to attract new wanderers from the ice floes and convince them to risk possible death by swimming on to the island. So we will have Rico climb up, let out another call to try to attract any wanderers who might come by, and Phoenix is going to have her final child. So we're going to repair the nest and settle in. She is going to pass away soon, but she has really indoctrinated all of the young nichelings in the new rules that she has laid out for how this tribe should live. And we should see how that's going to play out. But alright, Phoenix, I would love to see what your final child is going to look like. A powerful little... No! Rose Lindsay! What a name! Oh my gosh, I guess we'll just name you Rose, for short. Of all the things. She's kind of like a blood red rose, and she's sickly. Oh, curse all of the things. And she doesn't, she has the prehistoric saber fangs, and that again is the only thing saving her from doom. It seems that Makri has now become, now has two mates, and they're both sickly, and I think that he's very conflicted about this, but at the same time, it's like being handed two sickly princesses, I suppose. At the same time, arranged marriages amongst the Phoenix class with the orange gemstones and the noble class with the blue gemstones are now simply the way of things, because they are guided by a philosophy of trying to make sure that the all essential genes are preserved within the tribe, and the goal of breeding up a heat-bodied phoenix is attained. So you're gonna have to just accept it, Mokri, I think. All right. And little Kira, I think, wants to be able to contribute whilst she can. Is there anything to dig up? She can dig and she can do a little bit of attacking. So we may let her do that in just a minute. Let's see. Any bundles that we need to attack over here? There's one getting a little bit close. What is this? Oh, that's the whales! That's the little whale blowhole. Oh my gosh. Well, that's definitely a weird thing. Can you imagine like the nichelings trying to figure out what it is and they like drop a berry down the whale's nose or like little blowhole? That would be so weird. Oh my goodness. All right, let's have Rota scooch over. He's gonna gather up some food. Flame is, oh, Flame's an adult, and so is Honey. It is time for them to actually take control of the tribe soon, and actually have some children. But I feel that they would want to wait until there is a bit of a food abundance. And Honey at least can sit inside of this nest. If only we had a heat-bodied nicheling. We might have Mokri come over and clear the grass away, since only heat-bodied nichelings have the power to heat their claws and tear apart the grass that has adapted to this icy world. So we may have him do that in a second. But good to see that they are ready to become mates. IMB immunity, IND. They could have a sickly child. Let's see. Heat body recessive. Medium tail. Swimming tail. Heat body recessive. There's not really an ideal here for any of this. We may have Kira actually become mates with Flame, I think. Because then we could try to get the Hammertail in on our phoenixes. And I think having strength and cracking for Hammertail would be really useful. Because the phoenix really just needs heat body and wings. And if they could have a useful tail that wasn't just pretty with the, like, peacock tail, that would be really wonderful. So I think Kira is actually going to be assigned to Flame as well as Honey, because there's just risks all around. Well, actually, there's no risk with Mockery. There's no risk at all with Mockery. But Flame needs a mate. Dang, we may have to wait this out. Okay, I think that like that's actually going to be on pause now that we have some new females in the tribe. And it looks like Mockery might just end up with a ton of mates because he has B&H immunity. We'll have to see. We will have to see. But all right, so who to feed next? We'll let little Kira try to prove her strength by getting that mole. Quite active. She really, if only we had a healing fruit on this island, then she might really be able to contribute quite a bit. But alas, there is not a single healing fruit to be seen. And that's a pity. All right, and Honey, do you smell any bunnels coming close to you? No bunnels just yet. She was supposed to be the mate of Flame, but it makes a lot more sense to have Mockery just have all of the mates because they smell really good to one another. They have a safer variety of immunity genes and they've got heat body, but I think that's the way it's gonna be. All right, Honey. Well, Mockery, like, Phoenix has really built an interesting life for you, my friend. I guess once this nest is empty, or these nests are already empty, there's some bones in this nest, though. How morbid is that to try to nest in a pile of bones? Phoenix will try to call for a potentially better new mate for her son, but we do need to keep heat body going in that line. There's not really an ideal mate for Flame unless perhaps one of these ones have a child that is better. So Honey, ooh, there's not quite a lot of food. Yeah, there's not a ton of food, but I think that we're actually going to pass up Honey possibly being mates with Flame for a moment. Because Honey, you're not related to Mockery, right? Wait, are you? They're siblings! Forget that noise! I don't want to have to put one of the bad genes. That's how Honey became blind. That we're just gonna risk it for the biscuit with Flame. I rescind my offer. All right, we're gonna. I think Flame insisted to his mother that Honey is his mate, and he refuses anything else. Plus, you know, Mockery also already has 2 mates. So, and then Rico actually, B and H. Rico, are you related? Are you related to Flame? It's kind of hard to remember sometimes, but Flame, Rico, Flame, Rico. They're not. So Rico could also be a mate of his. And there's still a risk of a sickly child, but I do think having the Phoenix line produce at least a couple heat-bodied nichelings is very important. So yes, I think Rico would be quite excited about the idea of potentially having a child with Flame too. It's a very close-knit family here right now. Oh wait, Rota! Rota! ING immunity? Oh yeah, okay, we're actually going to do ING immunity with Rota. Forget that. Rico, Rota, you two are going to be a pair. I think I'm going to send her over. There's nowhere to call. Alright, she's going to be sent over to go and possibly become mates with Rota. There are some nests down here by the edge of the water. That's not dangerous at all. Just have your baby on the edge of a whale. I'm sure that won't go bad. Alright, well Phoenix has now done the very complicated trials of figuring out who will become mates with who. And Rico, curses, was trying to chase that bunnel to impress Phoenix and get ready to go leave and become mates, but it didn't work. Alright. Let's also chop down this dangerous berry bush. We'll leave these as kind of like the shadowed glade that sickly nichelings who bear no noble traits will be sent to. And then, let's see, anything else you can get, Kikar? Oh, and Kikar, you've got all sorts of attractive traits too. And you'd be a good mate for Rico. Wait, are you guys related? They're you're not related either. Rico, you have the pick of the litter. You've really truly got the pick of the litter. And actually, honey, I and D. Whoop, nope, that one matches. All right, yeah, actually, we've got quite a bit more diversity here now that Phoenix has surveyed all of the options. She's not content with the choice of honey for her son, but at least Rico has the heart of ember that she can sense within her, and the possibility to bring in heat-bodied children, as well as the prehistoric genes, just a faint smell of both fire and ice within her that could possibly be passed into her line. So Rico, you're about to have a lot of babies. And we'll bring a keycard down here to help us hunt for bunnels. Yeah, we'll just have Rico come over. She can make herself comfy over here and help with gathering when she's not chasing off bunnels. Or, like, I guess we can have Kira do a little bit of calling. We can designate Kira and Rose to the job of trying to summon new nichelings to the group. That'll do. Alright, let's see what we've got. Ah! Alright, Kira, you can go ahead and get the kill that you got yourself. You can jump up, and I think Phoenix, because you are both of noble class, will at least allow both of you to learn a skill, and you will be learning the skills of calling. Let's see, we'll have to clear out that nest. Of calling to see if you can convince the other nichelings with your song to abandon the ice flows and risk swimming to the whale. Because so far, no wandering nichelings. Rico, I think, is quite excited. There's enough food now that she can justify having some children. And she can have those children with either of these two. She really has the pick of the litter. So we'll let her go ahead. And yeah, Phoenix will just allow her to start scooching along. Honey, I think, would really like to have the opportunity to also have a child with Flame, even though there is a risk that that child could be sickly. So she's going to step in, and let's set these two up. They're not related, and right now that appeals to me because the rules say if they are related, they have to get a very negative gene. That's why Honey is actually blind. But what can we put into the mutation menu for you, my dear? Normal eyesight, for sure. Definitely the possibility to pass on normal eyesight. Being blind has actually not affected her too terribly on this island. A better tail? Maybe? She has... Let's see, maybe fiery eyes? That would be really cool if she could end up having a child with normal eyesight and fiery eyes. She already has ram horns, and so does Flame, actually, so they will have a strong child. We cannot put any of the prehistoric genes in to the mutation menu. Crackerjaw doesn't really help us here. I think fiery eyes. Let's give her orange eyes, the possibility to maybe pass those on to her children. And with Flame, bird beak can't be passed on yet because we haven't unlocked it. Heat body, unfortunately, cannot be passed on yet. Where is heat body? We literally just needed to spend 4 more days in a cold climate and we could have heat body. But we're stuck on this island until we get phoenixes. Oh, so close and yet so far. I mean, stinky tail? That might be better than nothing. Distasteful scent. But stinky tail just to at least be kind of feathery, if nothing else. And there's no wings yet, so can I actually... In fact, let's actually do... Ooh, that would be a good one. Okay, let's actually give him nimble fingers so that we can collect from these trees faster, because there's no wings to pass through the tribe yet. And let's go ahead and give him stinky tail. And I think that would be a interesting mix to a potential phoenix. All right. And he, I do think, has fallen for Honey. They really do see one another as mates. So we will go ahead and let him whisper sweet nothings. It didn't work. I think he will reassure her that he will remain loyal to her through all of their life. And hopefully you will be able to live up to that promise. Oh, yeah, that one worked. All right, and she has a little bone meat, and she got a little bit of food. Yay, look at this. We're surviving. I'm so happy. And we're actually going to have Mokri start tearing down some of the grass in his spare time, which isn't much spare time because he's overheated, so that he can start using his heat body to clear the island, gather up resources, and see easier through the land, because we cannot clear away the grass unless we have heat body. I mentioned that to you guys earlier. All right, we'll gather up some food there. Kikar. Ooh, Kikar. Bunnel's Kikar. Oh, Rico, where'd you go? She made it over there. Okay. Bunnel. Bunnel. Got it. All right, so we got a bunnel over here. Fantastic. We can lure them from their bunnel hill down to the fruit fields, and we will have them, we will be able to eat from them yet. But all right, it is time for Flame to actually arise and take control of this tribe, hopefully by beginning his own line of heat-bodied children. And it is time for Phoenix to pass. She led a couple calls. We will have to see if it attracts any nichelings to the island. But it is time for the Phoenix to crumble into ash. But she will rise again, possibly continually, until we have a proper Phoenix. We may just have children named Phoenix again and again and again who somewhat look like her, until we manage to achieve our goal next time. So let's say goodbye to Phoenix. Rest in peace, founder of a new era. And we will begin to prepare ourselves for our continued adventures here on this island. The new mates have been assigned before Phoenix passed. Flame has no intention of doubting his mother's words or decisions, so he will uphold the class system that she has built and the rules that she has made and the mates that she has picked out. Let's go ahead and give little Rose the blue icons. Both Rose and Kira saved from certain death because they do indeed bear the genes, the prehistoric genes. And we will have to see how all of this plays out next time. So if you guys could, do please leave a like for the passing of Phoenix. May she and her amazing vision of where the tribe could become fiery guardians of all nichelings live on. And if you would like to join us in the nicheling pantheon, do please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.